and welcome to my platform, and thank you for watching my channel. Please do remember to subscribe, share if you care, and hit the notification bell. So today I'm going to be working on this spare room. It's one of the rooms in my place where basically I will be changing the room to a blue color and having it zhuzhed up, as you say. I decided to go for the color navy blue, but when I went to the paint store or the hardware store, the navy blue was a bit dark, so I opted for a different color. I really loved it. So I just kind of took down the mirror, took out the furniture, and here you can see after I took out the mirror, I patched up the wall where the nails were, just so that the wall is nice and smooth. As you can see, it's all done there, and of course, as per usual, I have my handy helper, my daughter, who enjoyed helping me out. Here you can see that I'm just taping the bottom of the tiles before I paint the wall, because I don't want messy corners and messy edges. I just want it to be straight and have a nice clean cut at the bottom when I paint it. So I did this throughout the whole wall, and I also did the tiles on the wall at the bottom, and then I also did this for the wall on the side, so that the paint doesn't go onto the other wall, because I'm only painting one wall, not the whole room. As you can see there, I chose the color Moody Blue. It's the one at the very bottom, and that is the paint that I use. I think I used about 4 of these containers, or maybe 2. I can't recall, but it was between no more than 4. So yeah, but as you can see over there, the color is really nice. It's a dark blue, but it's not too dark. As I said, I didn't like the navy blue because it was a bit too dark, and that's not the color that I was going for. I didn't think it was going to match with the gold frames, which I'm going to make a bit later. So I used this brush. I used the brush just to do the bottom of the wall. I painted those first, so that when I paint with the roller, it doesn't create a mess at the bottom. It keeps the paint nice and neat and inside the areas I want to paint. After I painted the edges with a small brush, I went ahead and took my roller and I rolled all the way from the top, or rather from the bottom to the top. And it turned out to be so nice. I think I used 2 coats. Unfortunately, the one blue was slightly different from the other color, so I had to take the Moody Blue and take it and paint over it. But it turned out perfectly fine. So here you can see the one frame was already gold, so I didn't spray paint that one. The gold was slightly different from the others, but it wasn't a big difference. You couldn't really tell unless you go up close, front and personal. So I was very proud of myself. I absolutely loved it. There's nothing more satisfying than seeing your work come alive. As you can see there, I'm completely done with the wall. Painted blue, I painted the frames gold, and I hung them up. First it was the small frame at the top, and then I decided to put a big frame on top of the small frame because it kind of looked a little bit weird. And then you can see there on the left is the gold frame that was already existing. I decided to also now put floating shelves into the wall, because I wanted to have like that garden jungly aesthetic, which I will show you in a few minutes. It is going to be a floating shelf, and I'm going to put a pot plant on top of that floating shelf so that it is the centerpiece of the frame. I measured up so that it could sit at the same level as the middle frame so that everything aligns nicely. I didn't really use a ruler, I just used a roller that I had, and I just marked the area where I felt needed to be placed, where it needed to be placed. And then I marked the center of the frame. You can use a ruler, it's more accurate, but I kind of just use my natural eye. So there I measured where the floating shelf will be. It was pretty accurate, and then I made my marks with a white pen, or rather a white eyeliner. So as you can see there, it's three points that I marked because there's 3 points on the shelving. I took my drill and I made a hole on the markings that I had. And as you can see there, I'm just drilling the hole. If you are new to this channel, thank you so much for watching and coming this far. Please do remember to subscribe, comment, and share your ideas or your thoughts on the project. Now I did the same on the second hole. And then I did the same on the third hole. I'll admit it was a little bit nerve-wracking because the wall is not very smooth, so I had to try and get my drill to sit absolutely still as I drilled it in the wall, but it came out perfectly okay. Now for the pot plant, I took the used paint jars and I recycled them. So I waited for them to dry out, and then I bought this gold wrapping paper and I just cut out a piece of it, measuring the pot, and I just kind of rolled it around just to measure how much paper I would need. To fold the parts that I cut over, but then when I did that I realized it was wrinkling the paper and I didn't like the look of it, so I just decided to cut off the whole part altogether, the whole top part, which you'll see shortly. And there you go. It's looking way better. No wrinkles and just looking so amazing. After I did cut the sides, I decided to put in some rocks. Now, the reason why I did this is because I wanted this plant, this plastic plant, to stay stable. I couldn't think of any other way to make the plant kind of stay stable. And because the plant is heavy and it kind of lingers down or drapes down, there was nothing to keep the pot steady. So I said, you know what, let me use some rocks. It'll keep the pot steady and it'll keep the plant in place, which is exactly what I did. I happen to have rocks in my garden, so I decided to go and get some there and place them into the pot plant. You can hardly notice that the rocks are gone. It worked perfectly. It worked absolutely perfectly. So the big test was now to put it on to the floating shelf and see just how sturdy it is. And voila, it was super sturdy. I must say I was very proud of myself. It was really, really, really fantastic. It went so beautifully with the gold. I absolutely loved it. It was giving. It was so giving everything it was supposed to give. After that, I just put on some mirrors on the other wall just to bring out the accent wall a bit more. I loved these mirrors because they matched with the gold frames on the other wall, so they complemented each other. I just took the double-sided tape and put it at the back of this, but you don't need to use double-sided tape. You can actually use press stick because that's how light these mirrors were. I wish I'd actually used press stick before because it was more sturdy, but double-sided tape is just okay. I put it on the other wall and you can see it's starting to come together, like really starting to come together. Now I decided to go a little bit further and put these remote LED lights, battery powered, into the pot plants to give it that je ne sais quoi, make it a little bit je ne sais quoi-ish. As you can see, I put it in and look how fantastic it looks. It's blue and I just thought, wow, let me just put on the blue light. But you can change it. It can fade from red, blue, white, etc. It just looks so gorgeous. And when you're in the room and you put it on at night and you switch off the lights, it looks fantastic. This is the end result and I absolutely love it. If you enjoyed this video, please do subscribe, like, and share, and I'll see you next time. Bye!